On today, June 15th, 2025, I just wanted to stop for a little bit and to take this opportunity to big up all the fathers in the Caribbean and in the diaspora. Being a father is like an awesome opportunity. It's a task that was set upon us to be great fathers. And in Genesis 1:27, the Bible said that we were created in the image of God. God created us in his image as fathers, and that is an awesome responsibility for us to be fathers. And I know sometimes being a father, especially in 2025, can be very challenging. Most fathers that I talk to don't feel seen. Fathers feel invisible, as if the world today that we live in does not celebrate fathers. And that is a very challenging thing. And for most of us trying to be good fathers today, most of us grew up in a household without a father. So that is like learning to fly a plane without anyone teaching you. Like you're learning on the fly. You're teaching yourself how to be a good father. And that is the challenge that a lot of us as good fathers today are trying to be good fathers today. That is what we come up against. For me personally, I grew up in a different situation. I grew up in a house without a mother or a father. Like I was more of a foster child. And going through that experience myself, understanding how difficult it is to grow up as a child, as a young man, without the influence of a father in your life. And that is something I took very personal from a tender age, that look, I am not going to pass this down to the next generation. I'm not going to allow my kids to go through all the pain, all the trauma that I went through as a child. So that's why being a father is so important to me. I would say being a father is one of my greatest achievements. Being a good father is more important to me than any personal achievement on the job or any personal accolades that I can accomplish for myself. Being a father is the most important thing to me. And I'm doing this video because I want to urge fathers out there, fathers that are already being good fathers in terms of mentoring other young men that are hoping to be fathers in the future. Because when you look at the numbers in the Caribbean region, we are at the bottom of the list in terms of two-parent home. We're at the bottom of the list where fathers are responsible in their kids' life. And this message out there is for those potential fathers for the future, that being a father is more than just bringing a child into the world. Being a father is taking care of that child, is helping to mold that child into what they should be in the future. And we're seeing the repercussions right across the Caribbean now, where every single Caribbean island, the crime rate is going up in the islands. And stats, there's enough research out there to prove that young men that grew up without the influence of a father in their life are more likely to commit crime. They're more likely to end up in prison. And those numbers, those are undeniable. The research is there. And even as someone growing up in Jamaica, I don't need any research out there to tell me that, because I grew up in a very volatile community where when you grow up as a young man in those communities, you have more access to guns than you have access to libraries in the Caribbean. And so that's why this message is so important for young men out there who are trying to be fathers. And as I said, this is very personal to me. This is very personal to me because of all the pain and the trauma that I went through as a young man. And growing up as an adult now, and in retrospect, I realized that, look, all of this could be avoided if I had a male figure, like a father in my life, to show me certain things. And a lot of young men out there are going through stuff and they have no way to vent. They have no outlet to go and to share their pain and their suffering too. Because unlike women who have a community, who come together and share each other's pain, men, we grew up in a society that does not encourage that. And that's why this is very personal to me. And this is so personal that in my life, like I made a vow since I was a young man that I would not be friends with a man that refused to take care of his child. I refuse to be friends with any man that have kids out there like left, right, and center and brag about having 10 and 15 kids. I just refuse to do it because, as I said, I've been through it. I've been through the pain, I've been through the suffering that comes with not having a father in my life. And I refuse to associate with people that think that way, that think that just going around having kids all over the place is what makes you a man. That does not make you a man. Like, what makes you a man is taking care of your kids. And the thing is, even in the animal kingdom, when you look, you see the parents, they go out and they hunt and they bring back food for their kids. And the kids would eat first, the mother would eat after, and then what is left over is for the dad. And if the animal kingdom, if they can operate like that in the animal kingdom, what about us as men? So this video is to just big up all the fathers in the Caribbean because, as I said, like, growing up in Jamaica in the 70s, in the 80s, most of my friends had no father. Most of my friends were coming from single parent home. Most of my friends within my school system had no fathers in their life. And from grade 1 to about grade 8, like in the school system, like it would be very commonplace in a class of 50 kids for like at least 3 or 4 to grow up in a home with a father and a mother. Most of the kids did not even know where their father was. So this video is to encourage all the good fathers. And what I'm seeing that is good now within the Caribbean is that a lot more fathers are stepping up. We're seeing more fathers being more active in their kids' life, dropping off their kids to school, picking up their kids, and that is a good sign. And this video is to encourage fathers out there. Yes, I know sometimes we can feel invisible. Yes, I know sometimes the world does not celebrate us as father, but we have an awesome responsibility because God created us to be fathers, to be leaders, to be providers, to be protectors, to be the one there to protect our kids. And if we're not in the home to protect our family, what are we doing? Are we really fathers if we're not there to protect our family? So this video is just to big up all the good fathers around the Caribbean and to tell you to continue to do the good job as fathers that you're doing now, and to encourage the ones out there that have not stepped up, that look, it's never too late. It's never too late to step up. Go and try and reconcile with your kids and step up to the plate and be a good dad. So this is my message for Father's Day 2025. So